All right, YouTube portfolio is the new forward deployed engineering resume. And for those of the people that actually doubt whether or not our program's actually delivering, what I want to go out there and actually show here is, as of 9 minutes ago, one of our folks just interviewed with Google for an FDE position. Also, if you guys know anybody that speaks French and German, they're also looking for people. Definitely go out there and hit me up. Having said that though, why is YouTube the most relevant version of your resume instead of just a resume? Because your resume, there's two things. Number one, it's never been easier than ever to cheat on interviews with AI. So this guy, he built an AI cheating tool for coding interviews. And it's effectively giving him all the answers because we're still very much in a fully remote working environment, right? So the reality is, we cannot assume your resume, there's three things that your resume is not going to be able to do. Number one, how do I know your resume, which you drafted up, how do I know that everything that you're telling me is truthful? Like, we provide you with all of the resources to put together the resume here. How do I know all of the information that you're putting on the resume is truthful? A lot of people fluff their resume all the time. I did it when I was looking for a job. I'm not bagging on anybody, but how do we know? The answer is we don't know. Number two, the market is moving so fast right now that even if everything on your resume was actually truthful, how do we know that what was said on what you've done on how do we know? You think anybody on the job right now had a killer Q2 and they're going into July, August, and September or the rest of the year and they're thinking to themselves, we got this? Like, no. Anybody can come into your market. The challenges are evolving faster. So even if everything on your resume was true, I still don't know. We don't even know. Everybody that's working right now, they can also get laid off at any given time because something can happen in the marketplace. The third thing here is basically this. Let's just assume we wanted to go out there and give you a shot. Do we actually know whether or not we want to work with you? You see, when you actually have a YouTube channel, I get everything here when you're going into an interview is very similar to whether or not you are going to enroll in our program. I want you to walk yourself through that experience of when you decided to enroll in our program. Or if you're thinking about bringing a friend to enroll in our program. The first things first is, can you deliver? The second thing here is, time isn't staying still. Can you deliver again? The next thing you'd probably be wondering is, can you deliver for me? Companies hire people that they like working with because at the end of the day, it's the hiring teams that choose. Even within a company, what I've seen as a former recruiter is, even within a company, sometimes when I was a recruiter, us moving one person from one team to another team, for whatever reason, they were not able to be successful underneath this manager. They were able to be successful under another manager. So when I'm seeing your YouTube videos, I'm getting a very good understanding of how it is that you communicate, and whether or not you're a good culture fit starts with your communication style. It starts with your communication style, and that's the one thing that people need to move their mindset from. Is it's not about your skills, just about your skills qualification. Culture fit also weighs in really heavy because the team dynamic is very important. We are in more stressful times. I won't sugarcoat it. You wouldn't believe me even if I did. These are highly stressful times. We're in a highly volatile market, and people are working way beyond the 9 to 5. A lot of people are working also on nights and weekends. So if we're going into combat together, we really need to know, do we want to work with this person? And a big part of that is, how do we feel like this person does underneath stress? Do we feel like this person here is somebody that we want to be in a stressful situation with? I've worked with and I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of very talented people, but they don't deal with adversity very well. They're too smart. That's the problem. I think I've largely survived all these years because I just retard max like crazy. They have to actually go out there and think about that. I have a very short amount of time to get to know you. There is a 25 to 35 minute call with the recruiter. And then I probably, as a hiring manager, I get about 25 to 35, maybe 45 minutes with you. And in the panel, they get about 25 to 35 minutes with you. In a 25 to 35 minute span, we're going to have to think whether or not we want to engage in a highly close-knit working environment through a very chaotic and volatile time for possibly the next 13, 18 months where we're just going to be constantly going into battle. That's honestly not enough time. A lot of our people have actually gotten hired just because these hiring managers, they're trying to learn these skills too, and then they show up to their trainings and they're actually like, wow, I think this person's actually doing a better job than the person that we have on the team right now. This is actually why even our program, like it works in the UK. We have a full-on European cohort. It works for like H-1B visa holders. Because you want to know why? At the end of the day, the company's going to determine whether or not, the team members are going to determine whether or not they want to hire you or not. And a large part of that is going to come from how it is that you communicate, whether you resonate with their communication style. And to that, I feel like a lot of people, they get really stressed out, like, how should I present myself? We train you on that in the program. But I also do want to say this. I'm a big fan of manifestation. If it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. We've all been in a relationship that hasn't worked out, and you knew it wasn't going to go. You knew it wasn't going to last in the long run anyways. If it's not the right fit in the short run, it ain't going to be the right fit in the long run. And there's so many companies that are hiring out there. So why do you need to feel like you need to be held hostage to any one particular role, especially when like the market is just ripping right now? Obviously, though, you still have to have the skills. I'm not saying the skills are not important, but communication skills, you have to have it all. A lot of times people are always asking me like, well, is it this or is it? It's both. The answer is all of the above. Like, is it about, lifting weights, or is it about sleeping and recovery? Is it about diet? All the above. Do I need to have the technical skills, or is it like the non-technical skills that are more important? All of the above. All of the above, yo. Like, right now, too, if you speak a foreign language, like, it's such a flex right now because, like, if the AI education in English is this bad, can you imagine the other languages? So, like, pretty pleased with Sugar on Top. In the program, we'll actually break down in the upcoming sessions, like, what types of YouTube videos you should be recording, but put yourself out there. And honestly speaking, most people, they just don't want to get rejected. They just don't want to look stupid. But like, this is a muscle that you need to stretch, just like your abs, right? The more you do it, the better you're going to get doing it. I actually recently just had a phone call with this person, and I use this reference a lot. If French was the dominant business language and all the best opportunities were in the French language, then at some point you just got to go ahead and learn French. You cannot just be like, well, I don't want to speak French. Why do I got to go ahead and it is what it is. So people are either going to get on the bandwagon now, or they're going to go ahead and get on the bandwagon later. But like, YouTube is crushing it right now. We have the data. And I always ask people, imagine you went to a restaurant, an ethnic restaurant, and you've never eaten the food before. You couldn't even point out that country on a map, even if I handed it to you. Is a text menu going to be better, or is a photo menu going to do better? Is a photo menu going to do better, or is a video going to go ahead and do better? That's why Instagram crushed it for restaurants, and that's why Yelp crushed it for restaurants, right? You're not looking for honey, where are we going to go out there and eat? You're taking a look at the photos. And then Instagram took that to the next level with the videos, because people, that's what they want to go out there and see. So video is always going to be, like, would you rather read a book about Harry Potter, or would you rather go out there and watch a movie about Harry Potter? More people ended up reading the Harry Potter books and the Game of Thrones books and the Hunger Game books because they watched the movie first. And then now that they have that visual, then they go back to reading the books. So, but there's also a bunch of people that read the books, now they're watching the movie. So like, what's the final takeaway? Do it all. You still need to have a good resume. You still need to have a killer LinkedIn. But you got to go ahead, because the person that has more is going to get more, and they're going to take your job away from you, which is not what I want to see. I want you to tell us, yo, I just got a Google FDE interview. That's what I want. I want you to get the highest paying jobs. And I'm just telling you, you're just going to go ahead and cut yourself short. So we really read what it is that we do here, like a gym, like actual fitness, because we're like insane about that out here, even though I don't have really that good of a body anymore. um, yeah, is it about like weightlifting? Is it about like, okay, recovery? Is it about sleep? Do everything you can to get a competitive advantage over the other person because you want to work at the best companies. The best companies have the best people, the smartest people solving the most interesting problems where you're making the most amount of money. Do you really want to just get any random job out there where you work with dumb people, get paid below market rates, and you absolutely hate your job? Or on the flip side of that, you're like impressing like the coolest people. And honestly, with these skills, you can actually have multiple income streams or go into business for yourself. The more work you put up front, the bigger the reward is on the back end. So sometimes I say one of the ways to trick the brain is a lot of times people are thinking to themselves like, I don't feel like the reward warrants the amount of effort that's required. I'm going to tell you this. The best companies, you might not even believe it yourself, but you could be interviewing with Google as a forward deployed engineer in about the next 14 days. Let's get it.